I just ordered an Uber for the airport and that was 17 euros. So the Uber was more expensive than the airplane itself.
Well, this is a very interesting topic because I'm investigating how these low-budget airlines make profit. You have a lot of low-cost airlines here in Europe with very low prices, and I mean it, very low prices. And the most interesting, they are around there for years and they make a lot of money, but how? So I bought this 14.9 euros ticket from Portugal to Madrid in Spain, just to check it out how it really works. So let's start the investigation. Imagine paying less for an international flight than to a lunch, for example. That's what's gonna happen in this video. Ryanair, Vueling, EasyJet, Wizz, Air Europa. There are many of them out there, and they're out there for years and years. I paid 14.9 euros for this ticket, but there was many occasions in the past of €1 tickets, or 5 euros or 10 euros ticket. And no, I'm not a lucky guy. So I'm gonna go to this website right now just to show for you guys the prices right now in this day. So you can go to France for $12, or Spain for 15, or Italy for 22, or Portugal for $22. And I'm living from Porto, which is a very extreme part of Europe. It's not as centralized. So let's go from Paris, for example. If I go from Paris to UK, is only 15, Portugal, Italy, France, Spain, Poland, all from less than $20. That's so cheap. Well, it is really cheap. Just got to the airport and the Uber was not only more expensive than the airplane itself, but the Uber took more time than the flight itself because it's 10 in the morning now. But there was traffic on the way from my house to the airport and I took around 1 hour to get here. My flight now is 1 hour long from Porto to Madrid. Let's go for the check-in. Anyway, I got to the airport and I started making my investigation with the attendant of the check-in, asking how do you guys make profit?
Bom dia. É pro voo de Madrid, às 11h35. Para Madrid e depois volta. Uma pergunta, esse voo foi só 14,90 €. Como é que vocês lucram com isso? Foi muito barato. Vocês lucram na quantidade de pessoas? Sim, não, são todos esse preço. Mas foi muito barato esse voo.
Well, she told me that I'm a lucky guy and not every airplane ticket is on this price. Well, she's kind of right, but I don't think that's the right answer. But I found a really good clue close to there.
So I asked her how they make profit with this type of prices. And she said that not everyone pays this price. But I would say one way for them to profit is on the baggage, on the luggage. Because sometimes the luggage is more expensive than the ticket itself. So basically this is the normal size of a bag, but this one you have to pay. It's around like 30-40 euros. And if you don't want to pay, your bag needs to measure this amount of size. It's not that much. If you want to travel for at least 7 days, I think you will need to pay an extra of 30 euros to go on this size.
Well, that is a really good clue because I only paid less than $15. But if I want to bring some baggage with me, I will have to pay $30 extra. Or if I want a bigger baggage that I cannot carry on my hand, that would be an extra of $50 or $60. But to be honest, I still don't think that that's enough. But that's okay. Check-in was done, I passed through the security and I was inside. And I was comparing the prices. If I buy 15 of these waters, that would be costing more than my ticket. Or if I buy one of these chocolates on the duty-free place, that would cost more than my ticket.
Well, because it's only a few hours of travel, I go to Madrid today and come back today. I only bought this backpack with only my notebook. Let's go.
Well, now it's time to solve the mystery. How is it to find an international plane that takes you to another country for only 14 euros and 90 cents? And not only that, because I bought it a few days before my flight, that was the price. I can buy it for 10 euros, 5 euros sometimes, in a promotion, even for 1 euro. Let's find this out. And the investigation continues. It's a cheap flight, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad airplane. Of course it's a good airplane, because they wouldn't risk your life for the cheap prices. They need to pass through a lot of security checks and everything. But even before getting into the airplane, I asked the security guard the same question. How do you guys profit?
Uma pergunta. Bom dia. Como que é tão barato o voo assim? Eu paguei só 14,90.
Mas a vinda fica mais caro.
A vinda fica mais caro.
Tá em promoção.
Sim. Tem muitos voos que tipo, tem até promoção 10 euros, 5 euros.
É costume.
É uma estratégia de vocês.
Está aqui muita gente de Madrid.
Sim, aí a vinda fica mais cara.
Mas 30 e poucos euros também, não é muita diferença.
Aí vocês ganham na volta.
Alright, that makes some sense actually. If I go to somewhere, I need to return, so I'll always have to buy a round trip. And the way back ticket will be more expensive than just the one single ticket. Alright, but that is not enough yet. Because less than $15 for a ticket, man, I will need a really good answer. But anyway, I got into the airplane, so let's check it out. Well, I noticed a little problem. It's midday, but the airplane was supposed to leave half an hour ago. So it's 30 minutes late. It's a little problem. It's actually excellent. 1 hour flight, that's really good. You don't need more than that. The seats were good. Here you have the tray to put some food and everything. Very good, very nice. Everything was clean. They had ventilation. And right here, air conditioner. It's not bad, man, actually. It's really good. Place to put your luggage. Everything that a normal plane should have. And then the flight started. And I'm still amazed at how weak humans can fly these days. But anyway, I counted 32 numbers of seats, and each one of them with 6 seats. So in total, this aircraft could carry 192 passengers. And if each passenger pays the same amount that I paid, they will be making 2,860 euros in that flight. But is that enough to make profit? So that's when I made a research of how much it costs for flights. That really costs a lot of money. So we can start with the fuel. A normal aircraft spends 1.5 gallons per mile, and the distance from Porto to Madrid was 250 miles. So it was 375 gallons. And if you take the average price per gallon, which is $1.8, so the fuel of this travel costed $675. But that's not the only thing, because you have the landing taxes, the airport taxes, the government taxes, security taxes, flight connection taxes, immigration taxes, and even more. But the real cost is the aircraft cost. To buy aircraft, my friend, is super expensive. A 737 aircraft, which is an average aircraft that these low-cost companies use, costs an average of $100 million. And this aircraft can fly 60,000 times. So if you divide $100 million for 60,000 times, this aircraft needs $1,600 per flight just to pay itself. And I'm not even counting the insurance or anything like that. So it costs really expensive to fly. But if it's really expensive to fly, how are they selling tickets for less than $15? Well, 20 minutes into the flight, everything's okay. And they passed giving the food really quickly. I didn't even see, but you need to pay for the food anyway. They just give you some snacks and that's it. This flight was really good actually. They had magazines to read and I could stretch my legs because I had empty seats on my side. And I even slept during the flight. And I forgot to record the plane landing. The other flight just landed and I counted 60 people in this flight. So if they pay like $14.90 like I paid, that would be not even $900. Hola, muchas gracias.
Gracias, adiós.
Una pregunta. Yo pagué solamente $14.90 para este vuelo. ¿Cómo ustedes hacen dinero con esto? Es muy barato.
Sí, no
A lo
sé.
mejor
¿Hay
a
alguna
otras
estrategia?
personas les cobran más dinero.
Claro,
Sí.
es que hay muchos precios en el...
Hay muchos precios variados.
Claro,
Sí.
Este sí ha funcionado.
Este sí, 14.90 es muy barato. Bueno, muchas gracias. And this is not only cheap, but it's really, really easy because there was no immigration to leave Portugal and there's no immigration to enter Spain. So it's really easy to travel Europe. Well, I went to this plane just to make this video. So I bought another ticket on the same day to come back to Portugal. So I didn't even visit Madrid. I stayed in the airport, but I stayed in the airport studying how they profit, because anyone could give me a real good answer. 5 hours later, I didn't even leave the airport and I passed the whole afternoon studying how these low-cost companies make money. And this is what I find out. All right, let's go for the real answer. So normally these low-cost companies only have one type of aircraft, like Ryanair only has 737s, or the EasyJet that only operates with A320. And this saves time and money on the training of the crew, like the pilots for example. Another thing, the seats are really, really simple. You can even lay on your seat, and that saves a lot of money on the maintenance. Another thing, flight attendants on the low-cost companies are usually on the beginning of their career, so they cannot charge high wages
prestigious, and also they don't need a lot of training. And normally they do a lot of tasks, not just one task to be the flight attendant. They also clean, they help on the check-in and everything. And you know those really expensive and big airports like Heathrow in London or Charles de Gaulle on Paris. Normally these low-cost companies avoid this type of airports because they're too expensive and they have big taxes. So that makes your flight more cheap. And also those aircrafts never stay still, they're always flying.
This is my airplane. It just got 30 minutes before my flight departures. So it's just the time for the people to leave, the cleaning service to clean seats, and us to go into the flight and leave. It never stops.
One aircraft, for example, can fly like 6 to 10 times in a single day. And also the tickets are cheap, that's true. But they charge a lot of money on the luggage. And if you want to check in online instead of taking the queue on the airport, you need to pay for that too. And a lot of costs. So your ticket is going to be very cheap. But everything extra that you want is going to be very expensive. These low-cost companies take everything that's expensive in a flight and they make it really cheap. And that's good for them and good for you because the flight is really cheap. And this happens a lot here in Europe for years. And I just wonder why it doesn't happen in Brazil, in my country, or in US. That's a really big country. You don't really see these prices there in the US. But here in Europe, it's really good. Well, this is how these low-cost companies make a lot of money. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.